Hey, sorry I missed your game.
Solo.
And hello, welcome to Solo Playthroughs. We got a double header today. This is the second part of that. I just streamed a few hours ago the first of the Horizons of Spirit Island, true solo game with devouring teeth. I don't know, somewhere in there was a sentence. I'm sure you made sense of it. And here we are with the first ever playthrough of Warp's Edge. I can't remember the last doubleheader I did. It might have actually been the Wave 2 scenario back in the day. Silverfish says hello with two big puffy hearts. Back at you, Brian. I appreciate that. Let me make sure my right mic is in play. Assuming the audio was good, Brian did not say otherwise. He might not have given me puffy hearts if it was the case that the audio was bad. So we're going to get into some Warp's Edge. I should say this was I think I need to say, I don't know, somewhere between should and need to. This was a review copy sent to me by Renegade Games. They sent me a review copy of Warp's Edge, of the Viren Invasion expansion, and then the hot off the presses Anamoly expansion. So I have not explored the Anamoly expansion much yet, but I have been exploring, the royal we have been exploring a lot of the base game and the environment expansion. I really dig this game. So the crazy thing is, when this game came out, it was like the solo community was all a buzz. It was a buzz, I promise you. It was like a freaking beehive. It was buzzing everywhere about Warp's Edge and Under Falling Skies. And I looked at the two games and I was like, I'll get Under Falling Skies. And I picked it up and I enjoyed it enough. It was, like, not soulless. I mean, it was a thing. It was a fun little puzzle. I got fairly good at it and just was like, great. I got it on the channel. Everything was fantastic. And then I sold it. And, I haven't once even regretted it. I probably should have gotten Warp's Edge. So, fortunately, the channel got to a point where I was able to get a review copy, and Renegade Games just kind of made it that much easier for me to test this game out. And I really, really dig what's going on here. The bag building is nice. The differences between the various motherships is great. The difference between the various spaceships that you're in, it's really just a cool system, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. So if yours says AV good, excellent. Thank you for the confirmation. So there is a little bit of flavor text in the rulebook, so might as well, for the first ever Warp's Edge, we'll get into the introduction. Story time with Greg. You are Taylor Mindy, or Mind, or I think it's Mindy, rookie pilot in the Force's Outer Rim Division. In the wake of a crucial battle, you have been stranded far from your fleet, lost and alone. With resources running low, you jump through warp gate after warp gate, hoping to find the right combination home. But home is not what you find. The warp jump takes you farther out in the galaxy than the Force has ever been before, deep behind enemy lines. You emerge from hyperspace to find yourself right on the doorstep of the enemy fleet. It's too late to retreat, so you go in with cannons blazing, but you are no match for the alien mothership and its consorts. Lasers fire, photon cannons pierce the blackness. Within seconds, your shields are gone, your laser batteries drained, and your hull damaged. In the instant before you are blown up, the ship's experimental savior protocol warps you back to the start of the battle. The enemy fleet is in front of you again. The mothership looms in the distance, but your laser batteries have reset too. You have a second chance, and now you know what's coming. So this game has this idea of warping. There are different warps. At the end of every warp, things kind of reset, and you'll basically put all their stuff back in your bag. So these are kind of like your life force. The quicker you go through these, the quicker you're going to go you're going to finish up a warp. At the end of a turn, when you cannot draw 5 tokens from this bag, that's when you reset and you go to your next warp. But you can only do that reset 3 times. The 4th time, you best beat the mothership or you lose, and everyone is going to laugh at you. And that's a really scary thing. So there's a starter tokens. There are 10 starter tokens. 3 of these give you energy. 2 of them give you 1 energy. 1 of them gives you 2 energy. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is energy. So it's kind of like Spirit Island, where the resources that you're spending are energy. You can use energy to do different things. You can either activate various abilities that will get through the course of the game, or you could use them to buy other tokens that are in the supply. There are generic tokens in the supply, and then there are power tokens. The power tokens in play will depend on the ship that you are. So again, there's a nice little variety there. We also have 4 lasers in our bag to start with. 3 of them are just 1 lasers. 1 of them is a 2 laser. And then we have 3 of these evade tokens. Evade tokens are, generally speaking, always worth the value of 1. What those values mean are, so this would be like a level 2 enemy, and we'll get into the yellow, the orange, and the red enemies as we go. And I'd start going through setup. There are different values. Well, this is a bad example. There are generally, most of these enemies will have a value for how many lasers you would take to defeat it, or a value for how many maneuver tokens it would take to evade it. And then once you match that value that's on the card, so 3 maneuvers for this one or 4 lasers, then you would get rid of the card. And depending on whether you destroyed it with lasers or you outmaneuvered it, you would get the reward underneath that corresponding part. Some of these, this is from the expansion. Again, I've already thrown in the stuff from the Viren Invasion expansion. Some of this, I cannot destroy this with lasers, but I can spend energy to take this little poopa out of the sky. That's right, it's a poopa. Insert joke here. All right, I'm going to take these 10 tokens and we're going to put this in our bag. This bag is otherwise empty. See, empty, nothing in there, no secret pockets. Look at this, another company that figured out how to include very nice bags with their game. You know, Arkham Horror. Although they did change that in the 2nd edition, but I'm still a little bit bitter from back in the day. Gonna check the chat. Jonathan Kokoski, what's up, sir? Hey, Greg, like this one. I actually just sat down to watch the earlier Spirit Island video, and this one started. Yeah, man, we're making it all sorts of confusing for your viewing needs today. These are our little, what do they call them? What do they call them? It's the first time you teach something, and you're like, I want to make sure I'm using the vocabulary in the book. It is not an ability card, people. It is a skill card. Very, very different. So I'm going to shuffle up these skill cards, and we're going to put them over to the side. We're going to get a new skill every round. Definitely varies up the gameplay in some cool ways, and they are important. Most skills are can be used once a warp. Some are more like ongoing abilities, but they generally have higher cost of energy to activate them. But once they're activated, they are good for the rest of the game. At the end of every warp, and at the beginning of every warp, including in the beginning of the game, we'll draw 2, you keep 1. There are things that allow you to get additional skill cards during the game. If you gain a skill card, you just take the top one off the deck, and hopefully it's useful. These are damage tokens. These can show you when you have damaged parts of the mothership. The mothership has 3 panels. All 3 will need to be destroyed separately. This is a difficulty 1 rating, so it is the easiest mothership in the game. I might get 2 games of this on the channel. We'll see. This first game probably won't be very long. I could also get whacked, which would serve me right for being at all arrogant and cocky about this. So what we're going to do is figure out which of these 4 ships we are. I'm just going to randomize it because, you know, random is fun. There's like no complexity ratings on these, although some are definitely more complex than others, but we'll see. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. The backs are going to be odds. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm rolling a die. 2. So backs are... No, backs are evens is what it's just like. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I rolled a 2, so we're going to do this. Even, odd, I don't know. Hopefully my intention was clear. So we're going to be Artemis, which is probably a very good ship for our first playthrough. We're going to take this little token is going to indicate indicative of our hull. If our hull ever gets down to 0, we lose. This token is going to indicate our shields. Now, our shields can take damage. This is also a way to kind of thin out your bag a little bit, and that could be very good. So there's like a tension there, because sometimes you want to get rid of your crappier tokens, but again, the more tokens you take out of here, the less turns you might be giving yourself each warp, and that could be a pretty bad thing. So you have to be careful. There's also a hold on your ship, so we can always have 2 tokens that we can just kind of put in reserve to use the next turn. Otherwise, if it's not in your hold, any unused tokens have to be going to your discard, so you might discard tokens that you don't end up using, and that's not great either. So there's like a lot of, like, again, it's a bag builder just like a deck builder. Hey, you draw 5, you discard the whole hand, you draw 5 cards, you discard all the cards in your hand at the end of your turn. Here it's like you draw 5 tokens, you discard all tokens that you don't use by the end of your turn. However, you can put 2 in the hold and reserve here. The other ships have holds of 1. One ship has a hold of 4. So the hold mechanic can be really, really interesting. We'll talk about the enemies and stuff as they come out. I don't think this is probably a game that's going to be easier to teach as we go, but we do need to set up our power tokens. So Artemis, his P token, which will go here, is going to be this. And I could go look at this little handy dandy awesome player aid that came in the Anomaly expansion, which I really love. So this is a photon blast. Place this token between 2 adjacent targets. It counts as 2 lasers against both targets. When one of those targets is defeated, this token stays with the other target. So there are 3 of those. We're going to go to the O. We're going to get the name of this token is Overdrive. Again, there are going to be 3 of each of these. We'll put that there. The Overdrive token, what is this? Well, place this token between 2 adjacent targets. It counts as 1 maneuver against both targets. When one of those targets is defeated, this token stays with the other target. Excellent. What's the W going to be? Well, the W is the Warp Ahead token. The Warp Ahead token, draw 3 tokens from your bag and add it into your pool. So it's basically it's like discard a card, draw 3, discard a token, draw 3. Super helpful. We have the E token is going to be the Enhanced token. The Enhanced token is an interesting strategy. The token in itself is kind of garbage, but because it doesn't do anything, but it enhances the rest of your tokens. But there is a little bit of luck there in what else you draw that you can enhance. So basically choose energy or laser. So you can't use this for maneuvers. Obviously all maneuvers are only worth 1 maneuver, so there are no tokens to upgrade to, but choose energy or laser. Exchange any number of tokens of that type from your pool with tokens of the same type, but the next higher value from the supply. That's going to go in the E. Now notice this is yellow. Why is it yellow? Well, this is the Artemis's special token. He gets to keep one of these in his bag at the start of the game. So there we are, 11 tokens in our starting bag. I like that mechanic a lot. It's a little wrinkle, but it makes each of the things really play pretty different, which is nice. Then we have the R token, which looks like, you know, some kind of cyclist in the Tour de France, but it's a retrofit. Activate 1 skill. You must use that skill card this turn. So basically, it's like whatever the cost of the skill normally would be. Instead, you could just like say it's like a 2-cost laser skill. You can say instead of wasting my lasers on that, I could just, bam, I'll just use the retrofit token to pay the activation costs instead. But again, it's still going to trigger the only once a warp thing. I haven't seen anything that overrides the once a warp thing. So you might not want to use that skill at exactly that time. So it kind of forces your hand in doing it then. So Fear, do you have the upgraded tokens? Can't tell. Also, I really want the playmat for this. No and no. I do look. The tokens do seem really solid. I mean, obviously, all kind of bag builderly things, you have to worry about the tokens like really wearing. That happened with my Arkham tokens. These ones do seem like there's a much higher quality kind of veneer, but at some point, getting the upgraded tokens, if you play this game a lot, you're probably going to want them. There's also, like, I use capsules for a lot of my games that have these. Like these shaped tokens. The problem is the capsules wouldn't fit in these things. So then I'm like, this is a really nice storage solution. So I haven't put the capsules on there. So yeah, I haven't looked too much into like what the upgraded bits are, what they cost for this game, but it is something that is definitely on my radar. For sure. Private Vendetta, hello everybody. Hello to you, sir. So let's set up things for our mothership. So the motherships all have these special abilities, and all those things are double-sided, just like you has like a different star fighter ship, whatever the heck we are on both sides. We are the Artemis Bottle SI, by the way, for whatever that's worth. These mothership things are also double-sided as well. So the dreaded strength, once one section has been defeated, attacks from the remaining sections each deal 1 extra damage. Once 2 sections have been defeated, attacks from the remaining section deals 2 extra damage instead. Stun resistance, this mothership cannot be stunned by lasers, but can be stunned by maneuvers. So these things cannot be defeated by maneuvers, but they still can be stunned. I will explain that what stunning does as we get into the game. And then protected, this mothership cannot attack or be attacked until all enemies from the deck and row have been defeated during the current warp. So that means is there's this entire deck of enemies which is here. Oh, not which is not set up. This is skills. I know what I'm doing, really. The entire deck of enemies that we'll have, we're gonna have to get through the entire deck before we can attack the dread. So that will be unlikely to happen on the first warp. Well, no, it's not going to happen on the first warp. It's unlikely to happen on the second, but the third or fourth warp, hopefully we have built our bag big enough to deal with all of the enemies that we're going to have to face, so we can finally actually start doing some damage to the dread. Now, what is the deck going to be? Every mothership has their own unique deck in terms of quantity of different types of enemies. The dread has 3 red enemies, so these are the big bads, the worst of the bunch. There are 11 of each color I have. That includes, again, the enemies that came with the Viren Invasion expansion. So I'm going to take the 3 reds. I'm going to shuffle up the oranges now, and we're going to put 4 oranges on top. And it is important at the beginning of the game that you keep these in order. We're not going to shuffle up the whole deck. So we're doing, again, 3 reds. We're going to put 4 oranges right on top of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's going to be 5 yellows. So a total of 12 enemies in our deck. The fact that the majority of them, or the plurality, not the majority, the plurality of them are yellow is a very good thing for us. Jonathan, upgraded bits are definitely great, as is the storage. Fantastic. All right. I'm going to now take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I did sleeve the cards, like getting the cards to fit in the box and with the expansions. It's a little tight, but it definitely works. I did not sleeve, I only sleeve the enemies. I didn't sleeve the skills because it wouldn't have fit exactly the way I wanted it without any lift. But like, I didn't think there's any reason to like sleeve the skills. Like they'll start getting a little worn, obviously, but you know, it's all good. At the beginning of the game, I will get a skill that will be mine for the entire game. So the 2 skills that I'm going to choose from are Bug Spray. Activation requirement is 1 maneuver token. Stun all enemies in the row. So we'll see that. That's a really good one to have access to. Or Small Black Hole. Activation requirement, prevent all damage this turn. They are similar. This is a little bit different. It costs 2 maneuver tokens. This is a little bit better because it also will work against the mothership. And the mothership, again, if there are no enemies left, they will start attacking us. And if one of these suckers is damaged, it's going to attack us even more. So that's a problem. Or one of these is defeated, it will attack us even more. If 2 are defeated, one section is doing 4 damage to us if you don't, stun it. So that's a problem. So this is really helpful late game where you're trying to also deal with the mothership. Also, there's some enemies that if they're stunned, they actually do more damage, so that's a problem. This Bug Spray, though, I think is going to be the most useful. And again, the cheaper activation makes it a little bit more attractive to me. So I'm going to take the Small Black Hole. We're going to put it on the bottom of the skill deck. That's great. Now I'm going to draw 5 tokens from the bag. And if it's to the left of my board, it's going to be the tokens that I'm going to have access to for this turn. If it's to the right of my board, those are tokens that I've discarded. There are ways to get discarded tokens back in your bag with certain powers. Oh, I drew 3 and then I took 3 more out of the bag. So let me put those back in and make sure I only draw 2. 1, 2. So you're not supposed to like look in the bag to see what's in there, but you can feel around to see the number of tokens left in the bag. That can be very important to strategy. And then to start the game, there are going to be 4 enemies in the enemy row. There's a lot of little things they did in the production that makes this like pretty easy to learn, and I appreciate that. So you have turn details. Turn 1, enemies arrive. Step 1, enemies arrive. Step 2, pilot actions. Step 3, enemies attack. Step 4, pilot plans. So we're going to draw 4. That's not an enemy. That's a skill, Greg. Get used to it. All right. We have the Reaver. At the end of each turn, discard all laser tokens from this enemy. The Reaver attacks does 2 damage if it is not stunned. And again, we'll talk about all of that as we go. I do want to push these up a little bit and make sure I have plenty of room to put some tokens out. Think that should be just enough room. It's not ideal, but it will make do. So we have, I'll put this little bug spray over there. So we have the Reaver. We have the Scout. The Scout needs 2 lasers to defeat it, 1 maneuver to evade it. We have the Worker. When this enemy enters play, add 1 enemy to the row. So normally we would be adding 4. We're going to have to add a 5th now because the Worker showed up. What a jerk. This does come from the Viren Invasion expansion. We have the Mercenary. That's fine. He doesn't look that tough. And then we have the Intruder. The Intruder also attacks for 2. So when we're dealing with these enemies, and I pulled all my... That's a really bad pull, dude. This is amazing. So I pulled all 3 of my energy tokens. I really can't deal with these guys. So when I'm looking, which is good that I got this bug spray, and you'll see why. So when you're dealing with an enemy, you have 2 options. You can try to actually match their total. So again, 3 lasers, 2 maneuvers, 2 lasers, 1 maneuver, 2 lasers, 1 maneuver, 2 lasers, 2 maneuvers, 2 lasers, 1 maneuver. If I ever match any of those numbers, the thing just goes away. We would put it in the discard, and then we would get whatever the reward is. The problem is, obviously, even say I did all maneuvers, that would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maneuvers. That's not going to happen. Or if I was doing all lasers, obviously that's even a bigger number because usually it needs more lasers than maneuver actions. And all I have is a bunch of energy. So what I can do instead of trying to actually defeat them all is you can try to match those numbers. You could just spend 1 thing, and now it's stunned, so it won't attack me. So I could put a maneuver thing there and a laser there. Both of these suckers are stunned, but then these 3 would proceed to attack me. And then if it attacks me, it hurts my shield, then I have to discard all my energy tokens because they beat over here, and that's also a mess. So I'm not going to be able to stun enough of these to not use my bug spray. So we're definitely going to activate the bug spray, and now they're all stunned. So they will not attack me this turn. This I will not have access to for the rest of the round, though, so I best have better draws so I can actually start dealing with these during the rest of the game, during the rest of this warp. Remember, we're in warp number 1. Do I want to... Tempted to buy something. So he's going to be annoying because he's going to keep discarding things. Again, I can only have 2 in my hold. I mean, I might do this, put those 2 in my hold, and then buy a photon blast. That 2 lasers to each thing is really nice. Really, really nice. All right, so I'm going to spend the 3 energy. Since I'm spending this energy, it goes over here, and then I'm going to buy a P. I do want to start getting some evade tokens too, but I'm a sucker for the photon blast, so, and I don't really have, yeah, I think that's best. And then I just put these in my hold because there's no point in like assigning them right now. They're all stunned anyway. It is what it is. So when you gain a token, you put it in your bag right away. So now I'll be able to draw it during the rest of this warp. But note, I started with 11 tokens. I pulled 5. I had 6 left. I just gained another one. So I have 7 tokens in here. And I'm going to pull 5. So keeping track of the math is important because I'm trying to maximize how many turns I have available to me this round. So that was the pilot attacks phase, the pilot actions phase. Now the enemies attack. They're all stunned thanks to the bug spray. Bug spray is amazing. And that's great. So I bugged them all. We're good. I'm going to take this, put this over here. This is now flipped. I'm going to flip it over to indicate that I've already used that skill this warp. I don't have access to it again until next warp. And now we go to the pilot plans. I'm drawing 5 new tokens. So Ferris has few nice skill. Yeah, with that draw of tokens, that skill was super handy. All right. Well, the enhance is nice. Oh, look at that. This is fantastic. So now we go to step 1. If there were less than 4 enemies in a row, new enemies would arrive. We don't have to worry about it because clearly we have our hands full. So now we go to pilot actions. I'm going to use the enhanced token. I'm going to choose energy. I'm going to get rid of these 3 tokens. Excuse me, sorry for coughing in your face. And then I'm going to I turn the 2 1s into 2 2s, and I turn the 2 2s. We're playing, do a little bit of ballet today, and then I'm going to turn the 1 2 that I had into a 3. I also have access to this stuff in my hull. So let's see what the best way to do this is. I did not get my photon blast, which would have been a little bit handy, but I can get another photon blast, which I don't hate. So let's do that. So I'm going to assign this 3 laser to the Reaver. I match the 3 laser to what it costs to destroy him. I've destroyed the Reaver. Reaver goes here. We add a photon blast to the bag because we add a P token. The P token for this game is the photon blast. Fantastic. I'm going to... What do I want the most of? I want to get a couple of evade tokens. I think that could be helpful. So I'm going to use this 2 to destroy the worker. Again, then the 3 comes over here. So this destroys the worker. The worker's out. The reward for destroying the worker is an evasion token. Again, evasions are always level 1. So remember, I had 2 tokens in there after I drew 5, and I just added 2 more. So I will get another turn out of this. I'm going to spend the 2 things here to destroy the intruder. We get another evade token. So now I have 5 tokens in here, which is super great. And now I have 1 evasion token left. I'm not going to be able to really deal with either of these guys. I don't want a level 1 laser. So I might as well just get rid of the scout. But the problem is, I get rid of the scout, I'm going to be adding 3 new enemies, and I know that they're going to be level 2 or level 3 enemies. So there might be an argument just to stun that dude. But you know what? I'm a sucker. I'm going to actually evade the scout since I matched his evasion, his maneuver threshold. He's out, and it gives me another. It gives me an energy. Now this actually costs 2 energy to buy, but it's worth 1 energy when I spend it, and that's in there. I do have this. Oh, I could stun him. I forgot I had the hull too. Look at that. I will actually stun the mercenary with that. So that was... Oh, you know what? I should have upgraded him too. I should have definitely upgraded that, because this was in my hold. And so I did the enhanced token. Yeah, this is the hold. I could have just put it all on my pool. Great. That should have been a 2. And then the 2 I could have actually used to kill the mercenary. So look at that. No damage at all. Kill them all. Crushing it. And we get another energy token there. And we have this 1 energy here. So maybe we can buy something else before the end of the round. So this sucker still doesn't attack me because he's still protected by whatever's left in his deck. But there are no things left to defeat me. To attack me. So I don't get attacked at all. So my shield is still at full power. We're all good. Note, when you put these on the board, I was actually putting them on there for a while. No, it's supposed to go on the top number, which is fine. It's a little... It still looks weird to me. It's like, you have a spot for it. It should go there. But no, it goes here. And now we're going to go... So enemies attack. There are no enemies that can attack me, so we go back to pirate plans. So I drive 5 tokens. I have super upgraded lasers. This is going well. Look at all the photon blasts. Excellent. And we have another evasion. We have an energy. Lots of fun little things. So enemies are going to arrive. We're going to put out 4 new enemies. We have the Silence. He could be pretty gross. He's doing 3 damage. We have the Berserk. The enemy cannot be stunned by lasers, so I have to use an evasion token on him. But if you do the... I mean, I could still kill him with lasers. I just can't stun him. So if I put a laser on him and I assigned enough, he would be defeated. But if I spend the 3 maneuver actions and I maneuver him, then I can actually draw 3 more out of my bag and put it in my pool. There's a timing thing to that. You want to be careful. You have the Ghost. That's interesting. And then we have Vengeance. So this is one of those. He deals 1 damage no matter what. If you stun him, he will deal a total of 3 damage. So stunning him is a bad idea. I only have 4 power, but I can put these on 2 things. This guy can't be stunned by a laser, and again, there are some like rules ambiguities in this game that are a little frustrating, but if I'm understanding this right, since this counts as lasers, the photon blast cannot stun the berserk. I also don't. I'm like 1 shy of maneuvers. All these guys are pretty maneuver heavy. I can kill him, but then I'm just wasting a lot of things on him. I have 2 tokens left in here. I cannot stun. Oh, I could buy some things and try to get 1 more round out of this, which wouldn't be the craziest thing. So here I'm going to put the photon blast in between 2 things. Now it counts as 2 lasers against both of them. I'm going to do it again, so it's 2 more lasers against both of them. So there's 4 lasers against both of them. So that actually defeats the vengeance. That gives me a level 3 laser because that's the defeat reward. And then these 2 now stay here. So he's stunned by this, but he's still 1 away from being destroyed. So now I have 3 tokens in here. Cannot. Yeah, I'd like to get another round, knowing that I have the 3. I'm not pulling any new tokens. 1 more damage could do enough to him. I don't think I have another maneuver token in there too, so I could probably gamble here. I will evade him, so they're both stunned, and then I'm going to use these 2. What are you? The energy tokens? Oh man, but there's 2 oneers. Well, I have the enhanced too, which could be good. Yeah, I'll use these 2 energy tokens to get 2 1-cost lasers. So they're kind of not the greatest tokens, but they're going to give me another turn out of this. We go to the enemy attacks phase. They're all stunned, so we're just going to move these up here. And now I'll be able to start stacking that. So those still will count toward, like, if I evade it, if I spend 2 more evasions, it's out. If I do 1 more damage, it's out. So even though I didn't fully defeat it, those can start stacking up on the enemies themselves. So we'll still be able to like get advantage. I mean, this photon blast is huge. So it was like 4 damage to that 1, and now I like 1/5. I'm like 1/5 away from destroying this ghost. All right, the enemies strike. They didn't. They were all evaded. Pilot plans. I'm going to draw my last 5 tokens. That's a nice little draw. And then we have to do the enemy arrives. This guy arrives here. So he's one of the level 3. Now, one of the bad things about going this deep in the deck is now when I shuffle to constitute the next warp, all these level 2, including this level 3, they're all going to be now possible to come out right at the very beginning of the warp. The good thing is I'll have my bug spray back, so that's always helpful. All right, I'm going to kill this dude with 1 laser. These all come here. This guy's out. I get an evasion token, and I heal my shield 3. My shield has not been damaged at all, so that's not a thing. And then this guy can't be stunned by laser, so I'll just make sure he doesn't attack me because that's 3 damage. I mean, part of me, there's like an argument to let them hit me so I can actually thin my deck a little bit, but like, if I get a really bad draw, like, it is what it is. I will. And then you can remember, you could one thing I should say, you can spend energy to heal 2 shield. It's really helpful. I do think I might actually get this thinned out. What would I want to discard though? Yeah, I have a bunch of these 1 energies. If I take 3 hits, don't hate that. Yeah, let's thin this thing out a little bit. So I don't want to take 3 hits though. I don't want to take a billion. So what I'll do is I'll keep the 3 and the energy there, and then I'll go ahead and stun the destroyer. The enemies are going to attack. The silence was not stunned this turn, so it's going to attack me for 3. So I lose 3 to my shield. When you lose hull, you don't discard tokens, but when you lose shield, you do. So since I got stunned, since I got hit for 3, I will get rid of 2 energy tokens and a level 1 blaster, level 1 laser, and those are now out of the game. And now the silence is done attacking. This guy was evaded. This guy was stunned. This guy was stunned. We now go to pirate plans. I'm supposed to draw 5 tokens. I only have 1 left. I can't draw 5. That's the end of the warp. So when a warp ends, you're going to grab all tokens from anywhere in play other than your hold. The ones in your hold stay. And then when you put this right back in your bag, you're going to take all of the revealed enemies, so the ones that you destroyed plus the ones that were still in the enemy line, and then you shuffle them back up. So we only had 2 enemies left, so they're both like really, really bad ones. They're monsters, I tell you, monsters. And then we're going to put this stack of 10 enemies on top of the deck. Get 5 yellows, 4 oranges, and a red. And then we're going to look at the next 2 skills, and we take 1. So we have Dazzling Flare. I can spend 1 maneuver, evade 1 enemy, but do not get the evasion reward. So that's cool. So basically, instead of just stunning it with a maneuver, you can just absolutely fully evade it, get it off the board. That can be really strong, but it does cost a maneuver. And then Asteroid Run, draw 3 tokens from your bag and add them to your pool. That costs 1 energy. I kind of like that. Getting access to a lot more tokens and not having to use maneuvers can be really helpful. So we'll take the Asteroid Run and we'll go from there. And then I'm going to draw 5 new tokens. Do you have expansion cards? How can you tell them apart? I do have expansion cards. The Viren expansion is the ones that require like energy to hold on. I have it right here. So the enemies from the expansion are the worker, the drone, and the Kui. So the ones that add extra enemies, or the larva, the pupa, and the adult. They're the ones that can only be defeated by spending energy. They don't get defeated by lasers. Yep, only token placed under, not between stun. At least that's my best recollection. I think you're talking with an in-between token as long as the ship isn't immune to that type. Yeah, that's Brian's right on that. Those are just, yeah, it does stun. Photon Blast does stun both, for sure. And it counts as lasers for both. It would say if it didn't stun on the thing. But, so yeah, you could definitely stun 2 tokens with the Photon Blast. Sea of Fear, no reason to tell that I remember. They tend to have different abilities that bring another enemy in or needing energy to defeat. Excellent. True, it's been a while since I played. Jonathan, it's been a while since I played. I like it as a trip game since it's pretty compact and I don't play it out. Yeah. Now it's really cool. All right, drawing 5 tokens to start warp number 2. I got 3 maneuvers and a 2 blaster. And then a 1 blaster. So interesting. We're in warp 2. We're drawing the initial 4 enemies, and we have a berserk. He cannot be stunned by lasers. We have vengeance. This enemy deals 1 damage. A stunned, it deals 3 instead. We have a destroyer. The big bad comes out right away, and then we have worker. So again, if I use my bug spray, what happens? This guy will now do 3 damage instead of 1. So the stun all enemies is great, except, that's not good. And then the worker is adding another enemy to the thing. It's the intruder. So lots of problems. Remember, I still have this level 3. So I think I got to get rid of the vengeance and then stun the remaining enemies, I think is what I want to do. So I'm going to assign 4 to this guy. He's out. I destroyed him. I get a 3 blaster. 3 laser, these come over here. Remember, I could spend energy to get 3 more tokens, but I don't know if that's totally worth it. I'm going to stun all the enemies in the row with bug spray. It's like good to do. I find it really helpful the first thing. I could destroy him. That seems good. I'm going to spend, and I'll get one more worker out. If they're all stunned, yeah, I'll apply this evasion token to him. Tempted to spend the energy to get this up. Get my shield up. I could draw 3 more tokens. That seems silly. Yeah, I'll spend this energy to get my shield up too. Again, 1 energy equals 2 shield increase. So if I add a 2 energy token, I get 4 shield increase. And then I'll hold on to these in my hold. There's no reason to spend them. I can hold up to 2 with the Artemis model SI. And to the turn, they're all stunned. They're not going to attack me. This guy, this evasion token is going to move up there. This comes over here, and that skill is now used for warp number 2. So drawing 5 tokens, a couple of photon blasts would be nice. Photon blast could take out the worker and the intruder. Did not get a photon blast yet. Oh, no photon blast for me, kids. All right. That's 5, 7, 2, and an evasion. Great. Let me get rid of the berserker. So I didn't get the R thing. It's fine. So I'm spending 3 evasion tokens on him total. That's going to allow me to draw 3 tokens and add them to my pool. 1, 2. Nope, I had 4 in my hand. I'll put them all back. 1 was a photon blast, which I kind of liked. So 1, there's some energy. 2, there's a photon blast. And 3, enhance. Oh, how amazing. So I'll do the enhance. I'm going to get these 3 2s back in the supply, and I'll get 3 3s. 1, 2, 3. These are available. I have 5 3s already, which is bananas. I'll use the. I'm going to have too many. I'm going to have too many. Yeah, I'm going to have to waste. I can use. That's fine. I'll use a photon blast to defeat these 2. I get an evasion token for each of them. They go in my bag. I'm going to use 3 of these tokens to defeat this guy. That gives me a level 2 laser and another evasion token. And then I'm going to spend this 2 energy on another. Spend this 2 energy on another. Seems crazy. Another evasion token. I'll get a energy token since I kicked 2 of them out of my bag last turn. I'm going to put this level 3 blaster and the evasion token there, the maneuver token, and again my hold of 2 is coming in handy. Enemies attack. All enemies were destroyed. I pull 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We do that was pilot plans. We go to step 1. Enemies arrive. We have a scout. We have silence. We have a ghost, and we have the Reaver. At the end of this turn, we discard all lasers from him. So now we have 3 enemies left there. I really don't want these level 1 lasers. Good with lasers. Evade. P. Great. I'm going to spend. I'm going to. Yeah, I'll spend this maneuver action here. That gives me a 1 energy token. I'm going to spend 3 maneuvers to get a level 2. That's not worth it. I'll do a photon blast here. That does 2 damage to both. I'm going to assign 2 more damage here, 3 more damage here. That's going to give me a 2 energy token, a maneuver token, and then I heal my hull. Because both of those are out. And then I will keep those here. I'll spend this 3 token to destroy this guy. That gives me a P token. So all the P tokens are out of the supply. They're all in my bag, is what it is. I'm going to keep these 2 things in my hull. Enemies attack. There are no enemies left to attack. Pilot plans. I pull 5. And maybe we can actually start defeating the Dread this turn, which is awesome. So 2 maneuvers, a photon blast, and a bunch of energy. The last 3 enemies coming out are the mercenary, the adult. Whoa, like, and I have all that's. It costs 5 to kill. Oh, that's interesting. And the queen. When this enemy enters play, add 1 enemy to the row, except she's at the bottom, so we don't have to add anything now. Interesting. I don't know if I have any more energy in here or not. Photon Blast is kind of useless. Now, the Photon Blast can go between adjacent targets, so I actually can use that to attack the Dread and attack 2 panels. But remember, the Dread can't be stunned by lasers. So, you know, because it's stun resistance. That's a thing that it has. The Queen is nasty. Trying to think what makes the most sense here. Didn't use that enhance at all. It might be good to get that overdrive. I don't know if the W is going to be that great. I guess it could be good, but it's going to cost me 6. I don't know how. I think I have some lasers left in here. I'm going to use. I guess do I just draw the rest? I only have 3 tokens left in here. Let me just draw them. I'm going to use the skill, draw these last 3 tokens. Yeah, so a bunch of evasion. I have nothing left in here. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to do enough damage to the Dread anyway. So I'm just basically trying to get through this without taking much damage. But again, if I take 3 damage again, I can thin my bag. It's not necessarily the worst. I only have 4 energies. I can't actually kill him, but I can stun him with 1. I can definitely don't want the level 1 thing. This retrofit thing is weird. I don't like it. Actually, let's skill card. You must use the skill card this turn. I don't know. Does retrofit allow you to use the thing twice? No. I still think it's. I could see certain skills retrofit being super useful. Unfortunately, this is not one of those days. I just have 1,000 maneuver tokens, and I don't need them. I don't need them at all. All right, I'm going to spend these 3 to buy the overdrive token. I'm going to evade and stun him. I'm going to stun him. I don't really want to defeat either of them. I'll hold on to. I could just defeat him. Yeah, let's just do this. I'm going to spend these 3 evasion tokens to get rid of the adult larva. That gives me 3 energy token. And I don't think I'm going to want to deal with him, so I'm just going to stun him. And that's fine. So enemies attack, they're both stunned. I can't draw 5 tokens, so all the tokens go back into my pool, my bag. I'm at full health. I have a huge bag of tokens. This comes back here. This is going to reset, and then all 12 of these suckers are going to shuffle. We go to warp number 3. Hopefully we can start smashing the dread once and for all. I have a bunch of evasions, so the more enemies I can evade, and I could save up some big attacks for the dread, that'll be really helpful. We're going to look at the next 2 skills. So ignore all Mothership attacks and abilities this turn. That's amazing. And then loop around. So activate. So this is an ongoing thing. So if I activate it once, it's activated the rest of the game. In step 4 of his turn, you may return to the bag any number of tokens you draw, then draw that number of tokens again. Wow. I could see that being really helpful. Step 4 of each turn? Woof. I think that's too good. All right, I'm going to take care of that. Loop around. So again, once I activate it once, it's active for the rest of the game. So we're going to draw 5 tokens. The dread, I'm coming for you. Booyah. This is not, I don't think this is technically step 4. I don't know what this is. We'll figure it out. I can draw 3 more with Asteroid Run. I might, just to make sure I get to a good start here. But let's see what the enemies are. So the Reaver at the end of this turn, discard all laser tokens. Queen, when this enemy enters play, add 1. So we're adding 5 this round. We could get up to 6. So we have the adult, larva, the ghost, and then the intruder. All right, so I'm stunning the adult larva with 1. Photon blasting, kill him, +3. I can stun them all with the bug spray. Lets me save the asteroid run. Yeah, let me stun them all with the bug spray. Let me activate loop around. So that's now active for the rest of the game. I will then kill these 2, get a bunch more evasion tokens. Sure, draws 1 more card. That's probably better. So then I will do the photon blast to do 2 damage to both of them. That destroys the intruder. That gives me an evasion token. And then I'm going to use this 3 to defeat the ghost. That gives me an evasion token. So almost all the evasion tokens in the supply are in my bag, which is bananas. They're all stunned. None of them attack. I already assigned 1 energy to him anyway. I draw 4 more tokens. Remember, loop around is active. If I don't like what I draw, I can return any number and then draw the same number. I'm assuming that the final draw, the next draw is final. This skill is no longer active, but the bug spray has been hugely helpful. This comes out, and there. And that's fine. Oh, we have to draw 1 more enemy, so enemies arrive. So yeah, I'm not going to use the ability to redraw. So I'm not using loop around. We get a worker. When that enemy is enter play, we draw another one. It's a destroyer. Fantastic. We're going to, yeah, this could work. I'm going to use this overdrive. It counts as 1 evasion maneuver, 1 maneuver against both of them. Then I'm going to use this other evasion to get rid of the Reaver. This moves over here, and that lets you draw 3 more tokens. We have an enhance, which is kind of interesting. Sure, I'll use the enhance to make all of these 1 higher. So the 3 1s are going to become 2s, and the 2s are going to become a 3. So the 3 1s become 2s, and the 2 becomes a 3. I'm going to use 2 of these 2s to get rid of the adult thing. That gives me a power token of my choice. I will grab the overdrive. Remember, this overdrive token's still on this guy. I will... really don't want that R. You have to take it. It's not like an optional thing. But I'll do a photon blast here that kills the worker. That gives me an evasion token. And he's got a 2 there. I will spend 3 energy to get a 3 laser. And then I will use this evasion on the queen. That's up to 2. The overdrive counts as 1. That is going to give me an R, even though I don't absolutely love it. This comes up here. The destroyer's stunned. So no one attacks. I draw 5 new tokens in Pirate's Plan. Again, I still have loop around active, so if it's not good, I can always dump it that way, but those are fine. I still have 2 things in my hold. We're adding 3 new enemies, and enemies arrive. We have Silence. We have Berserk. It cannot be stunned by lasers. And we have Vengeance. Again, if it is stunned, it does ultimate badness. I definitely don't want the R's. I can draw 3 more. I have a bunch of tokens in here. Trying to save as much of my attacks as possible for the Dread. Because, again, getting up to 6, 8, and 6 is going to be a thing. That gives me a 3 attack right back. Photon Blast or something would have been nice. If I pulled a Retrofit, I would have done that, but I didn't. So let me do the Overdrive. That's going to be a maneuver against both of them. And then I'm going to spend 2 more overdrives, so I'm going to get rid of the Berserk, and I draw 3 tokens immediately. Nope, I have more than 3 in my hand. 1 and 2, and last is this. So much energy. All right, I'm going to spend... This guy's up to 2 lasers, so I need 5 more lasers to defeat him. If I do a laser that's more than what I need, you just lose it. If he's stunned, he deals 3 damage, which honestly isn't awful, but maybe I just let him do the 1 to me. I can remember you can only hold a certain number of these. I definitely don't want to draw 3 more. I'm going to try to save that for the Dread near like the end of the round. He's already stunned. I'll apply another evade to him. And I think we kill the destroyer. So he's got 2 lasers on him with the photon blast. 6 more lasers, that's 8. That's more than enough. It gives me a level 2 attack and then the last evade in the game. No, there's 1 more evade in there. And now I have 5. I'm going to spend, and I have 4 tokens left. I'm going to spend this 3 to get another level 3 laser. I'll use this 2 to get a level 2 laser. And then we'll put this here. The Silence is stunned. It's 2 more cards there. This one's going to attack me for 1. I lose 1 shield and I have to dump a token. I will dump a level 1 energy. And now we go to Pilot Plans. Remember, I can redraw with Loop Around. Tons of tokens in here. That should be Perfect. We're going to draw 2 more cards. We have a scout and we have a mercenary. Checking the chat. We're good. So, how do I want to do this? I will do this other evasion, the other maneuver there. Get rid of the silence. That gives me a level 2 laser. I'm going to do a 3 and a 2 here. That's 5. It only has a value of 4, so that's done. It gives me a level 3 laser. I am not so sure I want to start taking damage yet. So I'm going to maneuver this guy with 1. I could draw 3 more. I'll just do that next turn. Yeah, I'll just maneuver him with 1, and then I'll spend the 2 to get a level 2 laser. Enemies attack. He's attacking me for, the scout's attacking me for 1, so I'm going to drop something. I'll drop a level 2. Oh, yeah, I'll drop a level. I'll just drop the enhanced token, and I lose 1 shield there. This goes up here. The mercenary was stunned. We draw 5 new tokens. Awesome. So, enemies arrive. There are no more enemies to arrive, so we go immediately to the pilot actions. I'm going to spend the retrofit thing to activate the asteroid one. I think that uses it up for the rounds, but I can draw 3 more tokens and add them to my pool. I'm going to use... might take 4 damage, and I'm kind of okay with that. 6, 12, 20. Nah, let me not take a damage from... seems silly. What, I have 5 left in here. Yeah, I think 1 attacks. 6, 9, 10, 14. I can kill 2 of these. It attacks me with 3, 4 damage. Yeah, that'll be totally fine. So I'm going to use these 2 evasions to get rid of both of these guys, or the maneuver attack. So I get a level 1 laser and a 1 energy. These go here. Now the dread, there's no enemies left. There's no enemies in its deck. So now it's going to attack and be attacked. So I think this is basically done for the round. But again, I could be wrong. Retrofit might give you double access to a thing, but I think that should have been clear if that was the intent. I'm going to spend 4. I'm going to spend a photon blast that does 2 damage. Now again, that does attack targets, so you can attack 2 panels of a mothership. So I need 4 more damage on this sucker. So a 3 and a 1. It defeats that. I need 6 more damage on this sucker, so a 3 and a 3. Defeats that. I'm going to put those in my hold. So there's 1 panel left. It's now going to attack me. It's attacking me for 2, but remember its special ability attacks me for 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to dump 3 tokens, the retrofit and 2 evasion tokens. Pilot plans, I draw 5 more tokens. And then we go to pilot actions. I have 6 damage here. So I've defeated that. Now that ends the game immediately. So you don't have to finish a round. There's nothing. There's no like sacrifice victory. If a win condition happens, so if again your hull gets to 0 or you defeat the mothership, it's immediate end to the game. So that's that. Again, it's a level 1 difficulty. This is a super easy one. I got pretty lucky early. So once it was kind of like a snowball going downhill pretty quick. This bug spray was amazing. I never even used the loop around ability, But yeah, that was a pretty emphatic trouncing of the Dread. Again, there's a reason why the 1 difficulty. I do think it gets a lot more interesting when you get to the duo. So what time is it? It's 4. And part of me is tempted to knock out the level 2 guy. And then I can come back, and I think the more interesting ones are like the hourglass. I mean, the duo is super interesting. What's the last one I just played? Did I do a level 4 one? Trying to remember what was from the base game too. Yeah, the array. Is the array from the base game? I think it's from the base game. I don't know. Yeah, the array. Because there are like array cards in the Anamoly expansion, which is pretty nuts. And then I guess the Revenant. So, there's the higher level ones I'll start, getting into when I get more heavily into the expansion stuff. Let me try to do the level 2 one. I don't know if I put everyone to sleep, but at least it's on the channel, and anybody who's interested in this game can come and check it out. Yeah, it wasn't a ton of tension in that playthrough for sure, but hopefully this was helpful to somebody. So I'm going to take the P's, put them back in their slot here. We'll take the O's, they're going to put back in their slot here. The R will go back in the slot here. The E is there. All the level 3 lasers, which I freaking had all of them, are going to go here. We have still some more tokens in the bag. So another level 3 laser. I had all the maneuver tokens. All the maneuver tokens in the world. We're going to go here. A lot of energy tokens. 3s. 2s. 2s. Here, 1s. Level 2 lasers. And I should be left, one level 1 laser, I should be left with 10 tokens. And there we go. Cool. So move this off. We're going to reshuffle the skill deck. And then we'll shuffle the various enemy piles. So the reds are going to be on top, the oranges, and then the yellows. So what's Hydra's deal? Well, Hydra is going to have a more balanced enemy deck. So instead of a 5-4-3 from easiest to hardest, it's going to be 4-4-4 straight up. And then it has 3 different panels, except these panels have abilities. Only one of them would potentially attack you. It only attacks for 2, but it needs 7 damage to defeat it. This guy can only be defeated by, the left panel can only be defeated by spending energy, and the right panel can only be defeated by evading. Now, if you destroy a panel during a warp, the panel does stay destroyed for the next warp. Thematically, I'm not sure how that works, but warping is magical. It does things. So for some reason, that just stays dead. So it's not like you have to kill the entire mothership the entire time. The one thing about Hydra that's a little nuts is that she's not protected. So she will be, as a mothership, so she, because ships are always female, I guess. Some sections of the mothership have special powers that have attacks, just like normal attacks. These special powers are active every turn unless a corresponding section has been stunned. Energy weakness, as mothership has one section that can only be defeated by energy, but even though it can only be defeated by energy, it can still be stunned by lasers and maneuvers. Unprotected, a mothership can attack and be attacked every turn. So from turn 1, we're getting a double attack from the center of that. The left panel says repairing shields only increases your shield meter by 1 energy per energy instead of 2, so it does mean repairing your ship is a little bit harder. And then this side is level 1 enemies require 1 extra laser to destroy or 1 extra maneuver to evade. Now there's only level 1 enemies, but obviously that's going to make the beginning of each round that much freaking harder to deal with. So unless you get something like bug spray or something like that to find a workaround. So I have 3 ships left from the base game. Hermes, Titan, is that right? Yeah, so it's going to be one of those 3 C's. So we're going to have Achilles model GC, the Hermes model SE, or the Titan model BC. So Hermes will be 3-4, Titan will be 5-6. I rolled a 3, so we're going to go with Hermes, which I don't think. Oh, wow. That just got really interesting. I have played with Hermes before. Seeing FDSFGS7125. Oh man, I love this game. Do you have any expansions for it? I have both of them. Yes. They were all review copies from Renegade. I have not explored the Anomaly one yet. Jonathan, solid victory. Got to pick up the kids later. Later, Jonathan. Brian says Silver Fear. This is a fun one. Or Brian doesn't say Silver Fear. Brian is Silver Fear. This is a fun one. I forgot the name of it, but my favorite ship is the one that only has 1 health. But then again, I've always been fond of glass cannons. That is the Achilles. Yeah, and then it dies, but then it comes back. If your health ever reaches 0, you not lose the game. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But then like it makes warps end immediately. It's pretty wild. Ding and ding. So everything's set. So instead we have 7 shields. We only have 2 health. So we got to be really careful to monitor our shields. We're going to have to reset the power tokens. So the P's can come out. We're going to get, this is a weird mechanic. I kind of like it in this game, and I think I would hate it in other games. So we have the propulsion cannon. Choose 1 target, then flip this token. If it lands face up, this token counts as 5 lasers. If it lands face down, this token stuns the target and is discarded at the end of the game, end of the turn. And what I really like is how they did that. They represented that. So the back of these are blank, but it has like a faint like stun symbol on it. It's really smart. So you just like flip it, and all right, that would only stun it, but it wouldn't do damage. I mean, the fact that it's like 5-0 is really nuts. So how gambly do you want to be? So we have 3 of these, and the photon blast. Thank you for your service. You're over there. The O's are going to be the same thing with the overdrive. Again, it counts as a maneuver against 2 adjacent targets. The Y, or Y, it's why does Greg not know his alphabet at this point in his life? The W is going to be the whirlwind. This token counts as 2 maneuvers when assigned to a level 2 or 3, 1 maneuver when assigned to any other target. And then we have the E's come out. Instead, we have the Electrobot. The Electrobot, when the assigned target is defeated, this token moves to another target of your choice, but it does not stun, so you only get 1 stun out of it. And then the R is super interesting. Now, this would be actually an interesting challenge. I'm not, as bullishly confident as I was going to the last game. Reflect, choose 1 enemy. This token counts as the number of lasers against that enemy equal to the enemy's attack plus 1. Can be very, very strong. So we'll put those out over here. So this is when I realized that there was like a lot of little like things to keep, it's not an overbearing amount of rules, but there are like things that you want to remember in your head that when you're first playing, it's like easy to play a whole game and then realize you just totally screwed something up. I'm going to take the 10 starter tokens. Again, we have 3 energy tokens. The starter tokens do have the white round border around them, which is really helpful. So 3 of those, 3 maneuver tokens, and then 4 laser tokens. And we're going to add the R token because that is the special token for the Hermes Model SE. I'm going to shuffle up the skills. I think I already shuffled them, but I'll shuffle them one more time. We're going to grab 2 of these skills. The hold for the Hermes is only 1, so that changes things. Top 2 skills, we have Cleaner Bot Steve. Return 3 tokens from your discard to your bag. It costs 2 energy to activate. Or Energy Bolt, yes please. That it costs 2 lasers to activate. This card counts as 5 lasers against 1 target, but cannot stun. This effect lasts until the end of the turn. Now, one thing you can't do is like put a 1 laser on it and then spend another laser. If you're activating a skill, the entire cost of the skill has to be paid in 1 turn. So it's kind of just, it's a little different than how you can kind of stack maneuvers and energy on the enemies. So those are the 4 yellows. Here are 4 reds. Here are 4 oranges. Fresh squeezed from Florida. Call it a day. All right. Dang, so we should have 12 cards here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, yellows, it should, if I pull off a red to start, then I'd screw something up and we'll do it red, but do it differently, but I'm pretty sure that's the right order. We're going to get 5 tokens to start the game. Woo! All right. Oh, excellent. At game start, gain 1 extra skill card. I forgot because the Hermes needs all the help they can get. So the advanced maneuver, targets require 1 less maneuver to evade this turn. It costs 2 energy to activate. And targets require 1 extra laser to destroy. So think about that, how that goes with Hydra. Level 1 targets now require 2 extra lasers to destroy and 1 extra laser to outmaneuver. I got some problems, kids. Hopefully this doesn't end quickly, because it could. It's, you know, that kind of swinginess. If I pulled what I pulled last game, I would have been in serious trouble, although this is a much better pull, I think, for my purposes. All right, I think I can live with this. We're going to draw the top 4 enemies. We have an intruder. It's going to require 4 to defeat or 2 to outmaneuver. We have the spiders, going to require 5 to defeat or 3 to outmaneuver. We have the Reaver. At the end of each turn, discard all laser tokens from enemies. Going to 5 to defeat will give me a P token. I don't love the P token, but I think I'm going to be gamble. Or we have a Scout. It requires 4 to defeat or 2 to outmaneuver, and gives you an energy, because, you know, that's a thing. I'm going to activate the energy bolt because it's that time, kids. So we're activating the energy bolt. That's going to allow me to defeat the Reaver, because there's a total of 5 lasers. Now, it doesn't stun, but it can just do 5 damage. It lasts at the end of the turn. So I did 5 damage to the Reaver. Reaver is out. I'll just put it over here. I'll put the skills over here. Reaver's out, and that gives me a P token, which I again add to my bag. So that gives me 7 tokens in here. I want to stun some dudes. I'm going to stun you. Evade you. So I stunned him with a laser, and then I evaded both these guys with a maneuver, and then I'll hold on to this. It might be helpful with the advanced maneuver thing next turn. Hold on one sec. Let me clear my throat. All right. Let me. That didn't work. Hold on one sec. All right, sorry about that. Now we're good. I was about to try to sing, you know, "Let me clear my throat," and then, you know, I guess the my body was like, "Don't do it, don't do it." All right, you're gonna try it. We're gonna prevent you from happening. But for everyone who comes for the singing, I'm sorry, because I know there are some of you out here. I'm going to do pirate plans. I draw 5 tokens. I humbly apologize. Ooh, I forgot about the R. And this should come over here. Energy bolt is out. We draw 1 new thing. It is a level 2. It is Silence! Silencia! Ooh. Now, he's not a level 1 enemy. So he's just going to require 4 plus 1 instead of 4 plus 2. So he's going to require 5. Either way, I don't like that thing that he's playing with here. So I'm going to try to kill him. So, Photon Propulsion Cannon! Oh! No. But he's stunned at least, and then it'll go away at the end of the turn. So, did not destroy him. We tried, though. We tried. Almost got there. We have 1 evasion. I can do 3 damage with that. This is level 1, so he needs 4. Excellent. So I can do 2 damage plus 1 damage plus the 1 that's already there. So that's 4 damage. This one's destroyed and gives me an evasion token. Oh, shoot! He was supposed to attack me last turn. Yeah. I lose the level. I lose my 2 laser, but I don't think there's a way around that. Yeah, I only had 1 token over here. Woof. That was dumb. That was dumb. I forgot there's so many ones that are like protected and unprotected. I forgot. I messed up. So bad. I mean, there's an argument to like forget evading these suckers and just try to pile up on that, because that level 1 thing is super annoying. All right, I'm gonna lose that. I take 2 damage. I'm not. There's no other way to really rework it. I'm not trying to like what I would have done, what I wouldn't have done. Woof. You can. Oh, you also can stun abilities. So if I like assign, say I wanted that level 1 thing to be down, like I could just assign like a laser or a maneuver to it, and now it no longer is applying the +1. So that was something else I should have thought of. I just, yeah, I totally um, just brain farted. Again, lots of little rules, and sometimes you forget them. Who, me? Yes, you. Woof. All right, I'm going to spend the 2 to activate the advanced maneuver. So targets require 1 less maneuver to evade this turn. I'm going to assign this, so it would be 2 plus 1, it would be 3. So I can, or if I, minimum 1, if I stun that ability, does that mean they both go away? That's a good question, because now it's met the threshold. So I don't know if I have to add more stuff to it, because it's met the threshold, so I feel like it should count. That's just wishful thinking. Who knows the rules better than me? Enemy attacks, repair shields, activate, perform maneuvers. Count the total value of maneuvers tokens. If the total now meets, I think you'd have to add another maneuver. Yeah, I don't think it's auto. I don't think it's auto. So yeah, we're going to assign this to this dude. This is out. I get a level 2 laser. Reading that, it sounds like you have to add that as you go. You have to add it at the time to before you count the check, but I'm curious if there's been an official ruling on that. I have 3 tokens left in here, which is not good, but it would have been really nice if I was able to kill that guy. I'm not sure I want this bag to get that much worse. I get an evasion, I get the propulsion, get that back. I think I try to take out that middle panel next turn. Sorry, my throat is very much not working. My throat is on strike. I'm gonna just stun the middle, and I'll hold on to this energy, and that's this scout's gonna attack me. That's fine. Scout attacks, and I'll just get rid of that level 1. The reflect only works on enemies, does not work on mothership panels. Those would be targets. So that's a thing. So the scout attacked. This guy is stunned. That token's discarded. I draw tokens. I don't have 5. I could buy another token. I think this extending is just bad. No, I only have 3 in here anyway. So I can't get the 5. I was thinking, do I spend an energy to get another token? No, we're fine. So I can't draw 5. Bag's empty. That ends the warp. I'll get another skill, which is helpful. So let me spend. Let me spend the 1 to get the 1 there. Yikes. No, I'll keep this out of the pull. Remember, because it's usually 2. In this case, it's only 1 because that would be still active. So we're going to take these enemies. We're shuffling them up. I think I added. There was not a good warp. Greg forgot some rules that led to a bad approach. It's fine. It's fine. It happens. This goes here. All right, drawing 2 of these. Let's see what happens. Targets require 1 less laser to destroy this turn. That's nice. And then home away from home, refresh 1 exhausted skill card. Oh, getting that energy bolt back might be game changer. Does cost a maneuver, But I'm so light on lasers. Turning 2 lasers into 5 could be huge. All right, we'll do that. Drawing 5 tokens. And yikes. This could be scary. We're going to now draw 4 enemies, and enemies arriving, and I apparently just hit puberty, so that's cool. And silence. Yikes. Okay, kill him. No, it's only 5 instead of 6, so it's not level 1. So I can do 4, 5. That's a 2 energy one, though. This would require 4. Really don't feel like taking 3 damage. It's not a good draw. Uh-oh. Uh-oh is right. Let's try to stun multiple guys. 3, 4. I gotta worry about that too. Yikes. I have too many energy tokens. I left one on my thing and I still picked 2, which is gross. That just gives me energy, which doesn't excite me. More excited about the evasion. It's not a level 1, too, so it'd only be 2 evasion tokens if I also activated that, but I don't even have 2 evasions. Motivation tokens. 2 evasion tokens. I just have the 1. Can't stun the energy. Could spend energy to raise that. So I could stun that, heal my shield, but then I'm just dumping tokens. Woof. I put myself in a bad spot. So arrogant. All right, we're gonna put this here. We're gonna kill. So that's 4 and 5. Those are here. That's out. That's 2. And then I have. I'll take 3 damage, which is not great. I'm gonna spend 2 energy tokens to increase my shield by 2. You know what? Where's that 2 energy token I just put in there? All right, let me take that out. I'm not going to totally defeat this guy. I'll just have the 4 on him. I'll spend the 1 up here. This 2 can go back in the supply. And I'll just lose those 2 and I'll take 3 damage. I'm fine with that. I am good with that. Actually, just increase it by... Right, I have to... my hold's only 1. So that's fine. So we go to enemy's attack. I stunned the mothership. Oh, what's the order of operations there? That's a good question. Do I put... Oh, that token stays on it. Fire. Right, so I stun the mothership. I leave that up there. This is stunned. This is stunned. These two are not stunned. They do 3 damage to me. 1, 2, 3. I have to discard 3 tokens. I only have 2, so I discard all that I have. Pirate plans. Pirate. Wow. Pilot. Pilot plans. I only have 5 tokens left. All right. Let's see what I can do. I'm going to try propulsion against the mothership. That didn't flip at all. So I have no dexterity. The repulsion cannon against the mothership. Come on, flip. That still didn't flip. All right. That was 2 really terrible things in a row. There we go. Hey, it worked. So that's 5 damage on him. It counts as 5 lasers. And then I'm going to do another laser. So that's 7 lasers total. I've destroyed the center of the mothership. The other things are still in play. So now hopefully we can blitz that next turn. Getting up to 4 and 6 is going to be interesting because I think I especially don't. I barely have any money, but I can try to fix that. But if I can get, I mean, if I can at least stop the bleeding with like this continually losing things, that'd be good. This could work. So I'm gonna activate advanced maneuver. Targets require 1 less maneuver to evade this turn. So I'll get rid of both of these. So they're both out. So they would cost 1 more because they're level 1s, but now they're down. So because of advanced maneuver. So the number I put on there is all I needed to actually do it. So I get a 2 and a 2 thing and 1 energy, which is good. Do I take 2 damage? Woof. Yeah, I'm about to take 2 damage from that guy. I could kill that guy, get the maneuver, but then he's attacking me for 3, and that's super bad. So I'm going to finish off the silence. That gives me a 2 energy thing. And that's all I've got. The intruder attacks me for 2. I'll get rid of my 2 level 1 lasers. And my shield goes down to 1. Next time I get attacked, I'm getting into the gray area where my hull's going to start getting pummeled. If I take 3 damage, I lose. When we go to pirate plans, I can't draw 5. Since I can't draw 5, I put all the tokens I have back in my bag, and I only have, I think, 7 tokens total. So, yeah, we're going to have to start just like really piling on the mothership super quick. This is out. These reshuffle. We look at the next skills. I don't even know if I have 6 energy in my supply, which is nuts. But at least this won't be attacking me every turn anymore. It's like, I forgot about you. Yeah, I don't know why, but I did. All right, skills. Small black hole, 2 maneuvers prevent all damage this turn, and an explosive rhythm. Tokens you gain from evade rewards this turn go directly into your pool. That costs 2 energy to activate as well. I think I want to get rid of that first. So I will take the one that has the energy. Although being able to repair my shield a little bit quicker might be a better idea. But, you know, I do think I have more evasion tokens than anything else in this bag. But I probably should have taken a closer look. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I kind of do. All right, pulling these suckers out. So it's a scout. It's a silence, act surprised. It's an intruder. And it's spider. Hopefully this propulsion cannon crap keeps working for me. And propulsion cannon for the win, kids. Here we go. Oh, I already had 5 out there. My bad. There was a The energy thing that was hiding. Energy thing that was hiding. At level 1 enemies require 1 more. 2 more. What can I stun? I have this energy. Alright, we're going to do propulsion cannon on number... Yeah, we do a propulsion cannon on number... On the... Nah, the spider's dumb. I'll do the propulsion cannon on the silence. Again, it's going to be... It's 4 plus 1 because of Hermes. It's not plus another 1 because it's not a level 1 enemy. So can I actually flip it? I did. It doesn't land on the right side. It just stuns it. Yikes. I'm going to do a maneuver action on this, so it just now stuns, so that ability does not apply. There are some abilities that, like for motherships and stuff, oh, it cannot be stunned. This is actually the third warp, before I forget to do that. Since I stunned that ability, it's only going to cost 3 damage to kill this, so I can put the R on that. We've destroyed the intruder. That gives me another evasion token. I'm going to try to get 4 evasion tokens on there, and that'll be helpful. So I have 6 tokens in here now. I don't like any of these things. I still have the energy bolt. I can spend the 2 energy. Oh man. Problem is I'm going to start losing tokens. I cannot afford to keep losing tokens. Really wish this dude was destroyed. That was a bad flip, propulsion cannon. I'm gonna have to lose something. Damn it. Targets require 1 less maneuver to evade. It says targets. I mean, would advanced maneuver apply to the mothership section as well? I would assume so. If it needs 4 evade and it says targets, it would say enemies if it didn't, is my guess. So like you're just basically fully exhausting that panel of the mothership is be how I would read that. 1 evaded with maneuvers. Yeah, cool. 1 defeated with energy, 1 evaded with maneuvers, 1 destroyed with lasers. Alright. I think I kill... Oh, these are just bad rewards. They're both garbage. They are both garbage. Wonder if I can get enough. I don't think I have enough energy in here to do that. That's why killing him would have been super important. And I don't know if I have enough lasers to kill him because that's still going to be a 5 now. This has just not gone well. I'll spend the 2... Let me save that. I'll spend the 2 lasers there to man, that's a lot. I'll spend the 2 lasers here, so that's gonna be just 2 more, and that's dead. But I'm gonna spend the 2 lasers there. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, Greg. Man, my propulsion cannon did not work, and that's a problem. If I let them both attack me... 2 energy. Do I have another 2 energy in here? I forget what the heck the rest of my bag is. No, I'm gonna probably want to do the energy there to just have that done. So many choices. All right, I will, because I've negated that, but I still have to deal with that. So of course I don't have the 3, which is super annoying. So I'll just put this on the scout. So that's stunned. This is stunned. This is stunned. This guy attacks me. I have to get rid of a thing. Discard at the end of the turn. So technically, since I have to lose a token, I have to lose the R. And this goes here, which is not great. Could buy another evasion token. I can't lose this. Can't lose the energy. I need it for that. Yikes. Or that. Okay, that's fine. Pilot plans. I draw 5. This comes out. It's the Reaver. Problems abound. Alright, we're going to spend the 2 to do 5 damage to the silencer. It gives me 2, which I get in my bag. We're going to... close to 6, too. I'm going to do an... Oh, this is so bad. This attacks for 2. If this attacks for 1, it's hurting my hull, but that's fine. I could still survive that. This is a super problem, though. I can't take 2 damage. I can take 1. I have 2 tokens in here, so this is probably the last turn. So I have to do that. Yikes. Nothing's giving me more tokens. Yeah, I'm gonna lose. Target you get from evade, go directly into your pool. That's 3 tokens in here. One of those is that. I think this is all she wrote, kids. I can't negate that and do that and get the 3 from the Reaver. I can't even... I could get my shield back up, but then I'm just kind of prolonging the inevitable. I'm not getting enough tokens. I'm missing... I need another 2 attacks to defeat him. 1 attack if I evade that. I mean, I could defeat that, but then we're still taking 3 damage. Unless I just really bump my shield back up. Which isn't the craziest idea. But now I'm going to be losing. This is my only choice. I'm sorry. Targets require 1 less maneuver to evade this turn. I'll maneuver this. Those all 3 go there. This is destroyed. And then I can't outmaneuver that. But I can get my shield up, and I'm taking 4 damage. That means I'm going to have to throw away 4 tokens. And then maybe I pull 6 energy? Sure, why not? We'll live to fight another day. So that's destroyed. Target required 1 less. It's not a level 1 target, so it doesn't apply to this. So it doesn't apply to itself. So I spent I spent advanced maneuver, targets require 1 less to evade. I put 2 evade tokens on it. Now that's destroyed. So I never have to worry about the +1 damage to damage these suckers. But I do have to worry about the fact that none of them are stunned and they're all about to do damage to me. So that's gonna be 4 damage to me. So I can remember when I spend energy, it's 1 less shield. So I'm gonna spend 3 energy and get 3 shield back. When the enemies attack, so these both were used. This flips over. When the enemies attack, they're going to do 4 damage to me, so I lose 3 shield, and then 1 of my hull, so I'm 1 away from dying there, so I have to dump 3 of these. I think I just hope that I draw a bunch of energy tokens and win that way. Propulsion target is garbage. I mean, most of my thing is energy tokens. Great. Out. So I lost 3 tokens. I can't draw 5. So all these suckers go back in my bag. There's not much. Do I even have 6 energy tokens? Am I wasting time? I do. So if I draw my 2 energy tokens, we can pull this off. So we have to go to the last round, last warp. These flip over. This is the 2 difficulty. I'm really struggling. Yeah, I forgot that sucker attacks right away. I mean, I think there's definitely a tactic where you wanted this. I wanted to destroy one of those 3 things in the first warp, and I just totally forgot that it was like still a thing. And the skills haven't been as overwhelmingly positive as they were the last round, but that's okay. We get 1 more skill. It is stun all enemies in a row. Well, that could be helpful. And tokens you buy go directly into the pool. I like stun all enemies in a row. I don't have that many tokens. So I draw 5. 1 more. Oh, it's 6 energy. Nope, it's 5 energy. Oh, it's even better. Oh, I didn't get a maneuver either. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I did not get a maneuver. A maneuver, I could have done that. Oh, I got rid of all my maneuvers. I mean, I still have a couple in there. Wow, that's hilarious. Oh, I can't maneuver you. Stalling enemies in a row, and I got none of them. Oh, I got absolutely none of them. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, I should have. I mean, what else? I'm not getting any of the. Yeah, I got so much energy. I have 1 more thing. I can defeat that, get that in there. I don't think there's any way, though, without a maneuver. That's 3 more tokens. This can't be stunned. I could get a. I could like. I mean, I could stun that with. It can't be stunned with energy, so I could stun that with a laser, and then like repair my shield. 4. So stupid. All right, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna do energy bolt, destroy him. It gives me another level 2 energy. So now I know I have 4 energy in here. I can stun this. This is 4, 5 attacks. Woof. I can spend 3 energy to get 6 shield. 2, 4, 6. I only have 3 tokens in here. Oh, that's so garbage. I'm not gonna have enough tokens to draw. I will not have enough tokens to draw. Oh, that's so bad. Wait, is there 4? 1, 1, 2, 2, 4 tokens in here. Oh, the problem is if I have to buy to get another token. Then I'm gonna run out of. Oh man, what a bad draw. Then I'm gonna run out of energy to actually defeat that sucker. Fresh and exhausted card to. It's one away. What a bad draw. Do I even have a maneuver token left? I did. Oh, I have two of them. Oh, one maneuver token. I bug sprayed this sucker and I would win. That's so bad. That's so bad. Well, I can't let the game end because that's silly. But I can't win the game either. If I left the thing there, I get 5 attacks and I lose that way. If I don't see how stunning that dude is not the right idea. I have to stun him because it just doubles my heal. My heal was here. I mean, if I don't stun him, like I spend 3, I stun that guy, then I still take. Ooh. But now I'm still left with. Yeah, I can't kill any of these dudes because of the +1 because of Hermes. Yeah, no matter how I cut it, I'm on the outside looking into this. Oh, it's so bad. I just need one more token. There's one less maneuver to evade. I didn't get any maneuvers. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I could buy a token. It's not going to matter. I have to get this up to 5 because I can't. Again, I stun this. Then that would only be here. But then I'm still only pulling 4 tokens. And if I can't pull 5 tokens, it is game over. Oh, one maneuver. That's it. We got close. It wasn't meant to be. What's going on? Sajid, well, hello. Look who just got home after a super long train trip. This guy. Sajid, funny thing, I have the game arriving tomorrow with Reckland. Nice. Greg, are you talking to Greg? I am. I feel like you're new to the game. The Hydra is such a huge jump of difficulty compared to the Dread, at least until you get the knack of fighting the Mothership. Yeah, I'm relatively new to it. I just forgot that they attack. I played the Hydra. I played the duo a few times. I played the Hydra, and I just forgot you really did start ambushing. Yeah, the Dread's kind of a joke. I just feel like I just totally forgot the first warp. I just forgot the rules, and then it was like I've been trying to play catch up ever since. Made it interesting. I mean, like I'm literally there's a lot of better draws. I mean, the 5 things I drew. What did I drew? I drew this. I mean, I think if I put these 5 back, especially with the bug spray, there are not many sequences of 5 that I don't find a way to win. I just forgot. That's dumb. Well, I would have won that way because I would have been able to take that out. So that's interesting. Yeah, I just tried to like leave myself just a ton of energy, but I just kept losing so many tokens. I mean, all these warps were so short. And I do think that's cool. Like the Hydra is like a really short game in my experience. Like if you're playing it right, which I just wasn't. I just totally forgot. That's the same pull I had. That seems impossible. How? How is that possible? Oh wait, the 2. There should be a 2 that's not in there yet, right? Because I got that from defeating the silence, so that's not fair. I cheated. Yeah, there's the 1 evasion I would have needed. Yeah, because I get this draw, like I do the bug spray, they're all thing. I do the energy bolt, I get another 2, and then oh, but I'm still not drawing cards. That would have been the problem. Oh, then I could buy a laser. Right, because then I could have just bought a laser. I wouldn't need to worry about this. They're all stunned, and then I get a 5th token in there, and then I have 5 tokens, and I pull, and I would have won that way. But yeah, dude, it's cool. I mean, the dread is like a joke. Uh, once you know what you're doing, but it's still fun. Like it's still a fun thing. I think it's a good way to like probably test yourself against with like a new like. Now it's jokes over. Jokes over. The dread is like I think it's a good way to test yourself with a new ship and like kind of get used to the mechanics or like some learn different power tokens. The Hermes, I think that's a rough combo with like that level 1 enemies requiring 1 extra plus your own ship requiring 1 extra. The math gets really funky. And again, I think some of the skills, there's that one skill that adds 3 to your supply. Cleaner bot Steve might have been a smart thing because I don't think I ever used the token. Oh, this one I didn't actually choose, right? It just kind of chose me. Yeah, I chose Energy Bolt over Cleaner Bot Steve. Cleaner Bot Steve can be great because then it's a way to, again, I just get tokens back in my supply because again, I was 1 token away from having 1 more turn. I had 1 more turn, I would have had the 6 energy necessary to do that. The problem is the what I would have needed to do to get the 5th token would have meant it would have been impossible for me to do that unless. Nah. I would have had 2 in there, 2 evasions. I think this was what was left in my bag. If I'd have done that, these are out. I take the 5 damage, all the tokens that were there go away, and then I would have had a buy. Problem is the evasion's still a mess because if you do the thing right, because I'm trying to think if I could have done this, like tokens you gain from a evade pool go directly to your rewards pool. That's where a retrofit could have been helpful because then I could have kept the energy because I still needed the 6 energy. So I was trying to like buy tokens with energy, repair my shield with energy, but really I needed to get 6 energy on there to actually accomplish the ultimate goal of killing the mothership for sure. So Brian, hi Greg, hope you enjoyed the game. Sagitt says he got slammed, so we enjoyed it. At least the last like 10 minutes I've seen. I wouldn't say slammed. I got really close to winning, but yeah, I played really bad. So I forgot the number 1 rule in fighting the Hydra is that the Hydra punches you from the very first round. And I was like, oh yeah, oops, I probably should have stunned him the first turn, but we'll figure it out from here. And it was fun. I'd say the Achilles is my favorite. Oh yeah, I like the Achilles a lot. Yeah, I think it's a cool ship. I think it's a lot of cool ideas. Like you can really like explore the idea of like thinning your bag a little bit just with all those shields. But again, the more you thin your bag, the less turns you have every warp, and that's a problem. So if your shields and help, you have the Warhammer special, which is so good. Yeah, it's a really good one. And Brian laughs. Says, "Don't laugh at Sagitt. Don't encourage such nonsense and bad behavior." But we'll be back. I want to cycle through. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to cycle through the motherships. I do want to get Requiem Run on the table soon. That is, Renegade did send me a copy of that as well, which has been awesome. And so I really appreciate them like supporting the channel the way they have. I have Requiem Run and the expansion, so still want to learn that. And then we'll loop back to this. And what I'll probably do, I'll just start with the Hydra and then move on to the duo. Or I'll just go right to the duo, and you guys didn't think I'd never beat the Hydra, and that's even better. But yeah, definitely a different approach. Yeah, I think the 2 times I beat it, 1 time I beat it, the 2 times I beat it, I just blitzed it like hard, like from the first turn. It was like, all right, bam, like, I mean, there's depending on what reward you get from the early ships, like you get a sense of what's in your bag. I mean, you can hit it for 3 with your his special thing. You get like the energy bolt. I mean, it's not hard to take out one of these 2 in the first warp. Taking out this one, I think was nice. Taking out this one will really help deal with the rest of the board. But yeah, you're not getting very deep into this deck against the Hydra. At least I never have. So you're kind of sticking with the level 1 enemies. A lot of the other ones are protected. Like the duo is protected. I played the level 4 one once. Is the Dread protected? No, not the Dread. What is it called? What are you called? Where I can't even find you. Do you is you in the backside of this? Of course it is. Yeah, the array. Oh, the array is cool. The array is not protected. Not, so four of the five are always so you basically have this mothership token and you're moving them down, and like so there's only one that's attacking you and only one you could attack every turn, which makes it a really interesting puzzle. But then as you start defeating things, it just skips over destroyed sections. That middle's like super nasty because like you're gonna want to make sure, hey, when this gets to the middle, you need to have 8 attack at the ready. Otherwise, you're getting attacked for 3. And again, if you don't defeat it on that turn, you better have enough turns to get it back to the 8, so then you can defeat it. It's a very, very cool mothership. So those are the only 4 motherships I've played against, and I've really liked the variety. There's again a lot I love about this game, and it's like I chose when I went for Underflowing Skies against instead of this, I just had a bad read. Like this is definitely the game. This game just like looked a little cheesy to me for some reason. I don't know about what it is about the marketing, but it's just so good, dude. Like, it's a really, really nice solo game, and I'm excited to see what they did with Reckland Run because I've heard nothing but good things about Reckland Run, for sure. Brian says, "Do you get the Anomaly expansion?" Expansion, Brian. The duo is my favorite. I did get the They sent me everything, so they sent me it separate. I got the Warp's Edge and Viren Invasion. I just got Anomaly. I just haven't dove into it too much. It does look like so I threw all the Viren expansion cards in right away. It looks like the Anomaly stuff you kind of have to keep separate until you want to integrate it and then do the Anomaly stuff. So I think I'm probably going to keep that separate until I get through all the Viren Invasion motherships at least once. I can't wait to see you fight the 5 difficulty motherships. Yeah, me too. I'll get there. Yeah, I can never get into Unfurling Skies, but I absolutely love this game. Unfurling Skies was like fine. I found the campaign kind of whacked out. It was like so unbalanced and didn't really do it for me. The game itself, I just wish they had like a series of like progressively harder challenges as opposed to trying to do the campaign thing. And I really feel like it's a crutch with a lot of games. I mean, if you look at like the best solo games, or at least my favorite solo games, campaigns aren't a scenario like a scenario based system where it's like, hey, this is the setup, see if you can beat this puzzle. For me, it's always going to be better 99% of the time. All right, 90% of the time is going to be better than like this progressive campaign where my character is leveling up, and it's just so much more management and time commitment. Where like I've really just grown into like, hey, just give me a sequence of sequential scenarios that I could just kind of use as like a one-off, but I'm still kind of progressing through your game, and you're giving me different challenges. And I can revisit good ones. I mean, Cloudspire has a campaign, but I don't use it for the campaign. I use it for the progressive scenarios. Champions of Horror. I mean, this Final Girl. Those games are much like Mage Knight is all about scenarios. Spirit Island doesn't have like a book of progressive scenarios, but it pretty much that's all it is. I'm just like, hey, Spirit versus Adversary. You can do like the Wave 2 thing as a scenario, but like it's not that great. But Under Falling Skies was kind of, I think they just spent so much time developing the campaign mode that I think they would have just done better to just you know give you different challenges that didn't go into that campaign mode. Like I think it's just a trap at this point. Hey, you have 40 hours of content. It's like, I don't know. Why don't you just give me a good 45-minute game that I could play 300 times? So, but again, that's the soapbox I'm getting on more and more these days. We'll see. My top 10 this year is going to be interesting because campaign games have very much fallen for me. And I say that as someone who has backed more campaign games this year that I'm already like, oh, dude, like the lift for these campaign games is getting harder and harder. Just finding the time through table space is so you have the table space isn't limited. The time to get things on the table is dramatically limited. But look, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna go back to revisiting Australia. There is a rules mistake I wanted to make sure I corrected sooner rather than later. I'm going to go on the western side of the board. The rules mistake didn't really affect the last game, but it very much could affect the next game. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be trying Mind's Liberation one more time. A Sagitt, sorry, I got to do early starting times this week, but we'll be back to a more normal schedule hopefully next week, starting on Tuesday. And then next week, I got a bunch of things down the pipe. I got a couple more button shy games. I'm going to join them together. We're going to do the next Spirit in the Horizons of Spirit Island campaign, so or box expansion. So I think the Fathomless Mud. So I'm looking forward to that. He looks like a melting chocolate otter to me, so that's always a good thing. And if with your thoughts on campaign games, I'm curious what your thoughts are of Victorum. Honestly, yeah, I'm interested too. I wish had I known more. If I was back in that game now, I'm probably getting remastered more than Victorum. I haven't dove into it. Um, the reality is I bought that game and I have a bunch of review copies of games. So if I'm learning games right now, it's like review copies are taking a little bit of priority out of respect to the publishers that sent me this stuff. So I'm Victorum is a little bit backburnered for a while. I did get all of the gear locks. I will start diving into the gear locks soon because I'm excited to see more of Too Many Bones, and I'm still going to be working my way through Cloudspire. But chip theory hasn't, you know, it is what it is. I mean, like, so other games are going to get more play for a little bit. But yeah, I'm curious how I'm going to feel about Victorum, uh, considering they just adopted the campaign model. Maybe if I love the system, then I will consider picking up remastered at some point, and then maybe sell Victorum. But maybe I'll just love it. Maybe it'll work for me. It just I just you already if it's like, oh, this is a 10-hour game. Like there's a reason why Space Empires 4X doesn't get as much play as other games do, because it just takes all day for a solo game. Um, I'm not gonna want to like set up Victorum, play one chapter, and then I don't have a designated space for Victorum. I have a designated space for gaming, but I film here, I live stream here. Like I can't have a game that takes a week to play through. So yeah, we'll see. I'm really curious how it looks awesome. I mean, I'll definitely say that. I know what's Liz Davidson had said something where she was a little worried about the campaign feature, and she found it not an issue on her review of Victorum. So like I'm hopeful that I'll that it's even at like 6, 7, 8 hours. Maybe I don't play it as often, but I can when I find those moments, I can get it on the table and play it. But how it's going to work for a live stream is like annoying, right? Like so that's a problem too. But this too, this too shall pass. We'll find a way. I'll dive into it and go from there. But it sounds awesome, man. People seem to be really loving all the new Victorum stuff or all the new Hapamaka stuff for sure. And we'll see. What's their next thing now? Too many. They got the 20 strong, and then they're developing an Elden Ring Scrolls. I don't know. I can't keep those two things straight, man. I'm like the E. The Eld Ring Scrolls, one of those two games. I know they're doing work. I was like they're doing something with that, and then who just announced like Steam Force Games? They just have their Kickstarter for one of those two things. I could say that Hopmock is easily my favorite game system by CTG, but yeah, if you prefer one shots, then I'd say Remaster would really be more up your alley. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I started as an Arkham player. I think for the channel, like one shots are always better. And the games that I tend to like are the games that I'm playing more, and the games that I'm playing more tend to be stuff that's easier to put on the channel. And one shots are just a better system for this forum. So yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough. I mean, there's campaigns though that take 8 hours, and there are campaigns that take 50. Like I just played through all of Resident Evil 3 plus the expansion, and I love Resident Evil 3, but I probably won't ever play it again. I mean, that's like a 40, 50 hour lift by the time you set up all the scenarios, and you have to replay a couple because you lost them, and you're doing all that management. Um, 8 hours. I mean, it's still something I'll do an 8 hour video occasionally, but not often. I mean, I think the last one was. I mean, not. I won't do an 8. I'll do like a 6, 7 hour video occasionally, just not often. I mean, I think I've done it 2, 3 times over the years, but who knows? This was fun. I mean, obviously, like today, I live streamed twice, so instead of doing a double header, I just do one long marathon, and then people can watch as they want or tune in for whatever parts they think is better. But yeah, I think Hop Makis, I have high hopes for it. I mean, that was a Kickstarter I waited on for a while, like everybody else, and I'm excited when it finally showed up. And the big thing, I mean, the first step for me though really is diving into the Too Many Bones stuff I got in there. So instead of trying to learn a whole new system right off the bat, but this was fun, and I'm glad I showed you how not to play the array. No, not the array. Who the heck did I just get smashed by? I showed you how to not play the Hydra. Remember, the Hydra can attack you from turn 1, kids. So I make mistakes on camera intentionally so you don't repeat those mistakes at home. This is what I do for you. And that's it. So let me get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. If you join me twice today, thank you twice as much. And until next time, happy gaming.
Solo.